Welcome to another Only Tyler Will Tell, and I gotta say, guys, before I start this, I'm kind of super annoyed about shit I've been seeing lately, and mainly on social media, where people fight over dumb shit, over real dumb shit, all the time. Anything slightly controversial. This topic mainly has to do with controversy, and people just can't seem to agree to disagree on things. If somebody has a differing opinion, to your own, a lot of people decide they want to basically bash the other person because your opinion's not right because my opinion's better because it's my opinion. Now, granted, I see like a post gets made, somebody comments, dislikes it, and then like a whole kind of side war goes on Facebook or Twitter, whatever, where people take sides and everything, and it's not really creative discussion or it's not really intelligent discussion. It's mainly just bashing the other person to try to prove a point. Now personal attacks on, trying to prove your point obviously don't really make them valid. It just, causes a fight. Well, I'm right because you're stupid, you're ignorant, you're a horrible person for disagreeing with me, pretty much. That's just how that shit goes. Um, Honestly, I usually am the person who kind of just sits there and kind of watches what goes on in these conversations. I don't usually weigh in my point because I know if I post it that somebody is going to be like, you're fucking wrong. And usually I'm the kind of person to play devil's advocate, and what that basically means is I take the side less agreed with, less traveled. I try to make points for both sides. I had a professor when I went to Appalachian who he's a big guy, really nice guy, loved the dude to death. He was a great teacher. He told me controversy exists for a reason. He said a pancake, yes, I said pancake, no matter how thin, always has two sides. And in just about every controversial topic I've ever seen, there are decent points made on both sides. And granted, what boils down to making your ultimate what you believe in on a controversial topic, that decision, it usually goes by your values, your experiences, and typically your friends. Not saying peer pressure is a major role, but it definitely can be. And it's sad to say that friendships are sometimes broken because of differentiating opinions. And it kind of pisses me off. We can't, instead of, actually talking about the problem, we decide to fight each other because, fuck the other person. They're wrong. And I'm kind of tired of this shit. I'm tired of it. I know you're tired of it. I mean, your opinions are all valid to an extent. To an extent. Instead of fighting over something, over something you disagree with someone on, why can't you have an intellectual conversation? And when I meet somebody who has a different opinion on me for something, I typically want to understand where they're coming from. Why don't we do that? We don't want to understand why somebody thinks differently. Don't you want to understand why the other side thinks this way? And I've seen portions where people start trying to do that, and then they say something the other person doesn't like, so immediately they get upset. Why? If you can't have an intellectual conversation about something that somebody disagrees with you on, and you're going to get mad because you don't like what they said, any point you're trying to make, the second you get pissed off, is ultimately invalid. That at that moment, when you resort to calling people names, to putting someone down instead of actually, talking about the subject, there's no need to argue. The second you act like that, you lose all credibility to anyone who reads it. Unless ultimately they completely agree with you, and then they're going to jump on that bandwagon, start attacking other people. We take sides like it's a war. People have different opinions. We all grow up in different places, different environments. We see different shit. And you're telling me that because somebody grew up different, because they believe in something else based on their experiences, you're going to belittle them as a person? What, because they don't agree with you? Fuck that. No, fuck that. This edition of Only Tyler Will Tell is, I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed with people. Granted, not everybody's going to agree with you. Controversy, like I said, exists for a reason. There are valid points on both sides of any controversial topic, but you're not willing to listen to them because you are too dead set on one side. Play devil's advocate. Understand both sides. I'm getting tired of this shit. I'm getting tired of looking at this. We're better than that. We need to be better people, and I'm sick of watching it. The second you resort to bashing someone, that is so much a lost respect. Lost respect. There is no need to throw shade at anyone because they disagree with you. The first person to throw that shit, anybody who reciprocates that and really just starts, let's just bash each other, lost a lot of respect, dude. Can we overcome our differences? Can we just start seeing the other side? Only Tyler will tell.